starting a new series in the newspaper about different people that make a difference in the community, because there's so many interesting people that I think there's so many new people in the community that don't know about people, and there's a lot of interesting people that I've come across throughout my 18 years. And I thought, well, JoAnn, and Sandy Matson gave me the idea also. She said, you have to interview JoAnn. And I thought about it, and I said, of course, because you have such an interesting story, and your husband was involved in the schools. And how long did you live here with him in Acton? How long have you lived here?
19 years.
19 years. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Wow. And he was a superintendent, or he was a principal?
No,
or?
He taught 7th and 8th grade.
Okay.
Math and history, and had a photography class.
Okay.
And he was principal for 2 years, I think.
Okay.
But the rest of the time he taught.
Okay. And what
in a little school down on
at Acton School.
At Acton School.
Wow,
yes,
way
yes,
back.
Way back.
So you've seen a lot of changes, not just in the community, but in the school district and growth in the community. You've seen a lot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
And where did you move from?
Lancaster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He commuted.
Okay.
And I taught at AV High School.
Oh, okay.
So I taught there for 31 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then how did you come to live in Acton? How did that come about?
Well, we were both retired and doing, he was very involved in Lions Club.
Okay.
And we lived on the east side of Lancaster.
Okay.
And I always thought, that would be where we would retire.
Okay.
And live. But we have 2 boys, and they were kind of insistent that we needed to move.
Okay.
And we knew we needed to move too.
Yeah.
But we loved where we were.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But there were circumstances that needed to move. But we didn't know where we wanted to go. I had no idea where to go. And looked at different places in Lancaster. And Marsh and Bill New Year were good friends through Lions. And they lived here.
Okay.
And we were invited to their house to a party. And oh my goodness, we had no idea that Stallion Meadows was here. And we just kind of loved their house. And from there on pursued, decided that maybe this would be a nice place to live. Plus, it was familiar. I mean, Frank knew people. I knew a few people. It wasn't as though we were moving far away from.
And he worked in Acton, so did he kind of know the community a little bit? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And also we could still go to our church in Lancaster and do things in Lancaster because it's not that far.
Right.
So that's how we got here.
And so you were here the whole time with your husband in this house?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
So you've seen a lot of changes probably here.
I can't believe that I've been here 19 years.
Yeah.
I mean, Frank's been gone 11 years, and it just, 19 years is a long time.
It is a long time.
And it just doesn't seem possible that I've lived here that long. But
and you're involved with the Women's Club.
Yes.
And you were involved with the Lions Club, but then that fizzled out.
Right.
And then what do you feel like the community has changed in a way that you thought it would, or are you surprised at how it's changed, or has it really changed a lot in your opinion at all?
Well, I don't see a real big change myself.
Okay.
I see a change in, well, people maybe, and trying to, and it's not just here,
Right.
but it's getting people involved in organizations and so forth, and they're so busy with their own families and so forth that, I mean, that's,
Yeah.
I found that through Lions Club, that it's just things that people don't, they're not interested anymore.
Yeah.
And,
Or it's hard to get to people to volunteer and do things. Yeah.
They're so, well, they're so engrossed in trying to earn a living,
Right.
and of course they're engrossed with their kids and different things.
Yeah.
But it's just a different, it's just a different attitude. It's a different world.
It is.
It's a different world,
Yeah.
very definitely.
Yeah.
And I, I've lived a long time and I feel very blessed. And, but some of the changes that I've seen are,
Yeah.
they're just
Surprising a little bit.
surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this? Do you still feel this is still the small town feel that you liked?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's
Oh,
still
yeah.
that way
Oh,
in
yeah.
a lot of ways.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Very definitely. Very definitely.
Do you? I don't know how involved you are with the schools or what you've seen, but from when your husband taught, I mean, you see a big difference
Oh,
just
yes. Oh,
in the
yes.
growth and
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, they were, of course, they were all in one school,
Yes.
even though they were separated by 7th and 8th grade.
Right. Right. And that's still a pretty large campus. That Acton
It
School
is,
is
it
actually a
is.
nice campus.
Yes,
It's
it
very
is.
roomy.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that group at that time, that group of teachers, and myself being a teacher, that group of 7th and 8th grade teachers had a fantastic relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And they were really involved with the students and did different things out of school with the students.
See, and that speaks a lot.
That's,
Yeah.
something that kind of bothers me
Mhm.
here, that I don't, if I go to some kind of function for school, I don't always see a lot of the teachers and so forth.
Mhm. The interaction isn't there. Yes, I know what you're saying, because there's always like one or two teachers at every campus that stand out. They're the ones that go above and beyond their school day and do extra things for the
Right,
kids, like
right.
Mr. Rowland with his handbells.
Oh, yes.
And there are others too. He just always comes to mind because he does. But yeah, I know what you're saying. It's a different world, even in education, with teachers too.
Yes.
I know what you're saying. Before it was they'd stay after school, they'd do things with the kids, they'd formulate groups or field trips or things outside of school, and you don't see that as much anymore. It's kind of like their 8 to 3 day, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's a different philosophy. I think people get into teaching for different reasons, and it's not what it used to be. Not just in public school, but just in general. Yeah. I'm sure you've seen that change.
I've seen that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there are so many different situations that can happen,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that teachers become a little not frightened, but they are very careful as to what they may do,
Yeah.
and
Or everything that-
sponsor.
Right. Or everything they say, actually,
Or
too. They have to be
anything.
careful with certain words
That's right,
nowadays.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, so they're more careful and just keep it more mainstream, just teach and leave, because they don't want to have any, I can see that,
Yes.
where they're
Yes.
concerned.
Yes.
It's come a long way from when your husband taught. and you taught.
Right, right.
I'm sure you've,
And,
yeah.
And uh, after I retired, then we had a program that you could have 5 years and do different things at school. And I worked with that was when Highland High School was just opened, and I worked with a yearbook advisor.
Okay.
And so I got to know some of the students from Acton that were going to Highland.
Right.
Then. And I thought, oh, and they just did very well, and they were very involved in school activities. And then, of course, when they decided to pull away from the school district, ABI school district, and form their own, I was just a little bit, we were still in Lancaster, and it surprised me a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think they've come a long way with the school.
Yeah, they
With the
have.
high school, very long way.
Yeah, they sure have. Do you see you said you have 2 sons, do you see them
Yes.
often? Are they in the area?
I have one that lives in Orlando
Okay.
and one that lives in Marietta, California.
Oh, okay, that's near San Diego.
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And then I have a granddaughter that lives in East Vale, which is part of Corona.
Oh, okay.
And I am very blessed with, she has 4 children, so I have 4 great-grandchildren.
Wow.
And then I have a grandson that lives in Claremont, and he has 2 children, so I have 6 great-grandchildren. And so I see them and keep up with their activities, and
Yeah.
which is really, as I keep saying, I feel so blessed to see. Here I have a great-granddaughter that's in college, and to see her, from the
Yeah.
time she was a baby to grow up,
Yeah,
It's-
you've been able to be a part of that.
part of the family and everything. Yes. Yes.
So, do you see each other at the holidays, or you try? Everybody's kind of far away, but
Oh, no, I do go down to my granddaughter's
Okay.
for the holidays.
Oh, that's
yes,
nice.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. She has a big house, and she loves to entertain, and so we all go there, and it works out very well.
so let's go back a little bit. How did you and your husband meet? Way back.
Oh, my.
Because you're both teachers in Lancaster. But what happened?
But
What happened
see,
before that?
We lived in Illinois.
Oh,
We came
okay.
from Illinois.
Okay.
And I met him on a blind date.
Oh, that's neat. Yeah.
And I was going to college, and I had a guy that went to college that we were just good friends, his friends. And he said he had his brother and another guy that had just come back from Japan, from the Korean War. And it was college homecoming, and they wanted to go, and they wanted dates. And so another sorority sister and I went
Okay.
with them, and that's how I met him.
Wow.
Then we started dating, and then he went to college and got his degree too.
Okay. And were you both teaching in Illinois before you came out here?
Yes.
What made you come to California and to Lancaster, to be exact?
Well, we actually went to Madeira, California.
Oh, okay.
It was, I think about watching all this cold weather now. It was 20 below for 10 straight days. And my husband said, get off the typewriter and let's go to California. And I said, what? Are you crazy? And he said, no, just type a letters to all the different school districts
Right.
and see what happens.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a big joke. I mean, I never.
Wow,
ever-
all that typing, it's not computers, so
No,
wow,
that's
that's a
see,
lot.
I started out on the manual typewriter
Right.
and went to Selectrics and
Oh my-
computers. So
Oh my goodness.
So he heard from a school district, and they interviewed him over the phone
Okay.
and hired him. That's how we went to Madeira one year.
Okay.
And then they said he had a friend that knew someone in Lancaster, and Lancaster was hiring teachers and paying this big salary. Well,
Okay.
That was kind of, teacher salaries.
Right, right. That was
Call them big, but it was an improvement. So he and his friend came here and interviewed and got a job, and that's how we landed in Lancaster.
wow.
And then he taught there for a while, and he taught at Lake LA. And then the superintendent, who was Jack Culleton at the time,
Hmm.
was a real good friend of Frank's, and he hired him down here at Acton, and
Okay.
that's
Wow.
how we got here.
Wow. Okay. That's really interesting. And how long have you been with the women's club? When did you join that?
Well, right after, I knew Sandy. Sandy was in the Lions, and I just knew who she was.
Okay.
But I believe it was, we moved here in the summer, and that fall we were at a Lions Club meeting, and Sandy invited me to one of the luncheons.
Okay.
The fall luncheon. And so I said, sure. And because I wanted to, get involved with different things.
Yeah.
So I went, and that's when, then went to a meeting and
Just started going ever
Started
since.
going.
Never stopped going.
never stopped.
Yeah.
Then, of course, that's how I got involved with the community club, because they used to have representatives
Okay.
from different organizations come to the meetings.
Mm-hmm.
And I went representing Lions Club, and that's how I got all involved with the community club.
Okay. Are you on that board, or were you ever on that board?
No,
Okay.
no, I just help her.
Okay. Okay.
But I do go to all the meetings and the planning meetings and
Mm-hmm.
do as much as I can.
Yeah. I want to ask you about your car. It's such a cool car. So how long have you had your red car?
That car is 2000,
Okay.
and I got a brand new.
Wow.
It's my mother passed away, and she had left me some money, and I had a little 280Z,
Mm-hmm.
and I had never. We'd had lots of family cars, and the boys had cars, and
Mm-hmm.
I never had actually my own car.
Okay.
I had my own car, but it wasn't really what I would say always was what I picked.
Right.
So I was being a very a woman that said, it's time that I get to go to the dealership and pick out what I want.
Yeah.
And that's what I did, and I loved my car.
Yeah.
And it's very old.
Yeah.
And
It looks great, though.
well, I'm the only one that's ever used it. My husband did not like that car.
Oh, he didn't. And it's a red Camaro?
Yeah, a Mustang.
A red Mustang.
Mustang.
Okay.
And of course, it's not easy for me to get in and out of,
Mhm.
but I know how to do it.
Yeah. And
So
it's very impressive to see you driving or zipping around in that. That's neat. That's really neat.
it's
And it looks beautiful. I mean, it looks like you just bought
It's
it.
a fun car. Well,
Yeah.
I know I could. I mean, I've had lots of people say, will you sell that
Right.
car? Will you sell that car? And kids when you get gas, well, I feel very fortunate now with gas. At this 76 station, they'll come out and pump my gas.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, gosh, that's a lifesaver. But we used to, when I'd pump gas and kids would be there, oh, I want a car like that. Well,
Yeah.
when you work hard all your life, maybe you'll get one.
It's a dream car for a lot of teenagers.
It is.
It really is.
It is.
It's a neat car.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's really neat. So let's just talk about some fun facts here. What is your favorite type of music?
Western.
Western, okay. All
Yeah, I
right.
love Western.
Did you ever go to any of the line dancing classes they've had way back when? They haven't had.
Back when we
Yeah.
had line dancing in, we had a couple in Lions Club that taught line dancing.
Okay.
And before my knees got bad and I had to use a walker and everything, yeah, I did get the electric slide down pretty well. And at different Lions functions, there were, maybe 6 or 7 of us gals that could do the slide, and we had a good
That sounds
time.
like fun.
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
I really miss being able to do that.
Yeah. What other hobbies do you have? Do you like to cook, or what do you?
I used to love to cook. I don't like to cook so much. I don't like to cook for myself.
Just for one person,
No,
yeah.
it's not fun. But when my boys were growing up, and we were the old-fashioned family that had dinner every night. I enjoyed cooking and doing different recipes, but now it's just not fun.
Yeah,
It's much fun. I love to find recipes and so forth to find for other people to cook.
yeah, right. Cook it and invite you, give you some, yeah.
Right.
And so here in Stallion Meadows, we were talking about before when I came in. I know they do a big Halloween thing where people drop their kids here. It's a big place, but you were saying Christmas is a big deal too.
Well, no, I would just say that a number of the houses.
Oh, that actually
Decorated.
decorate.
Oh, yes.
That's really
yes,
neat because
yes.
when you drive around Acton, you don't see as many houses as you used to decorated with lights and stuff. You really have to. They're few and far between.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You.
But here,
Yeah.
people decorate.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's
And
neat.
there's a man just down 4 or 5 houses down here, going back out, who has made all cutouts. And they're adorable cutouts. And he does that for Halloween, Christmas. Does he do it Easter? But they're really. But there were a number of houses this year that were really decorated. They were lovely.
Oh,
They
that's
were
neat.
lovely.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
So I want to just go back a little bit to when you were teaching way back. It was the old style chalkboard and books, and you graded papers by hand, and you had a manual grading book and attendance book and all that, right?
Yes.
Did you ever, while you in your career, did things ever change? While you,
yes.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
so
I taught business.
okay,
And mostly, well, when you start out, you kind of, you get the classes that those who have been there a long time maybe don't want. So it takes a while to kind of work into, I taught all business classes, general business math, typing. In fact, the first year I taught all typing on a manual typewriter.
right.
And then we got, as I said, the Selectrics. And
Those were nice.
those were very
Yeah,
nice. Very
and it was
nice.
easy to change out the ribbon because it was
Yeah.
a cartridge,
Right.
and that was easy. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I had one of those.
And
Yeah.
those were used quite a while. Then computers were starting to come in.
Okay.
And why I think you're probably familiar with the ROP programs.
Yes.
Yeah, well, through ROP, you could get different kinds of equipment, different things, because that was a separate fun for school. And so they bought computers, and then they gave me, at AV High School, I was the first one. They said, here's, I think, what did I have, maybe 15 computers. Here they are, now you figure out what to do. Which was quite I knew nothing about computers, nothing. But we used them in the accounting classes. And I will admit, and having taught as long as I taught, I knew there was no sense in me trying to make fool the kids that I knew all this about computers. Because some of those kids, especially some of those boys, knew way, way more than I knew already.
Right.
And so I learned from them.
Yeah.
And so that worked out really. Then I took some computer classes and different things. So it worked in the kids were able to do accounting by hand and then to do it on the computer.
Okay. Wow.
So I really saw quite a difference from manual typewriters to
Yes.
computers.
I'm sure. That is very, that right there is just, I mean, to me, that's like a lifetime of just
Well,
change, you know.
I laughed and said to the kids, it's kind of like from a horse and buggy to a car, you know.
It's like a whole different era, a whole different century of stuff. It's crazy. Did you feel like when you retired that you were just going to stay active and you just transitions right into volunteering and everything easily because you knew people here already and
Well, we were we had lived, I retired in '92 and we didn't move here until 2005.
okay.
So I did quite a bit of, I went and volunteered at the AV hospital.
Okay.
And then I was, one of the gals told them that I knew how to keep books.
Oh, great.
And I ended up in the gift shop. Not in the gift shop itself, but counting the money and doing all the books for gift shop at
the hospital. Okay.
Till I moved here, and then driving back and forth, all the time, I decided
It's time to just
little
stay
too
in the
much.
area
Yeah.
and do things here.
Yeah.
And you were involved with the Lions Club until it dissolved?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
My husband was. He had joined in. 63, I think. So we had been involved, like at the fair in Lancaster. They had a corn booth, and that he was district governor, and so we were very, very involved with Lions.
Yeah.
So he knew people here. I don't know how long you've lived here, but did you know Fred Fate?
No, that name doesn't sound
No,
familiar.
he was a local sheriff.
Okay.
And so Frank knew him through school, and
Okay.
then they formed a Lions Club here.
Okay.
That was huge, just huge. And they did a lot of wonderful things, too. So.
And are you involved with the church, with the Acton Presbyterian Church?
No, I go to Lancaster.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've always gone to the Episcopal Church.
Oh, okay.
And so I stay. Yeah, I go every Sunday. I go to church there.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you just go to events sometimes at the church that they might have?
Yeah.
Okay, here in town?
To their
Okay.
events, and
Yeah.
and I like to back them and help them too. Sure.
Right.
And of course, with Sandy being involved, and she and I are such good friends. I get involved with the
Right.
church too, And I do love that little church.
Yeah, it's a neat little place.
Oh, it
It
is.
just, you just feel like you go back in history when you're in there.
Oh, you do.
You know, I like that
do.
it still looks the same. You know, it just,
it's a wonderful little church.
it really is.
And it just amazes me the music that comes out of there, and what I can't remember, the Christmas program that they had,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a lot of talented people.
There are certainly a lot of
A
talented.
lot of talented people for
Yes,
sure.
Yeah.
So what advice do you have for, I don't know, for just for people in general and just in a small town community? Do you feel like just staying involved keeps you young, volunteering keeps you
Oh,
young,
very
or
definitely.
what do you, I mean, what is your advice? Because you're so active and just so
Well,
amazing. I feel you are.
I don't see myself like that. I love people, and I guess I would. My dad was a teacher, and my mother was a housewife, but she was involved in volunteering.
Okay.
And they were busy in Illinois and in their community, and I just kind of was raised that way, and I just enjoy doing different things that I can do with organizations and with people. And the more you do, the more people you meet.
Right.
You meet very interesting people and become involved with people. And I mean, it seems like I'm always some new person that, I get to know. And it just
Keeps you going.
keeps me active.
Right.
And I think it's, well, I know it's good for your mind.
Right.
When you get to be my age, you get very frightened with different diseases and dementia and so forth.
Yeah.
And so that is something else. Friends, we play rummy cube, and then I play bridge every Monday. I do go into Lancaster again and play with a group of ladies that I met a long time ago. And I think that, I know that keeps my mind, it makes you think,
Yeah. Yeah.
and keeps your mind active. Plus, it gives you friendship with a different group of people. I really feel, when I was 90, a year ago, my boys put on this party for me at the community club. And everybody said, well, how are you going to get the word out, And I thought, there are so many different groups of people I know. I wonder how they're all going to mingle together. And it just worked out. I mean, I had, women's club, I had church people, I had community club people, just anyone actually that I wanted to attend.
Yeah.
It just worked out real well.
Yeah.
And John Spears was the band, and he and I become good friends now through his playing. And
Yeah.
so, that's just another person I met through asking him to play for my party. And he just had such a wonderful time and good time that we become good friends. Of course, he plays Western music too.
Right. That's an added plus.
So,
Yeah.
so that's a plus.
Right. Yeah.
And another thing, I guess maybe I should say I do like to do, but I don't get to do very often anymore, is gamble.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I do like to gamble, yes. I love to play blackjack, yeah.
Would you go to Vegas or places like
I go
that?
to Vegas or Priam, or not Priam, Laughlin.
Laughlin?
And I've been down to San Manuel a couple of times.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But you don't do that as often anymore?
No, it's hard.
It's harder to get.
It's just hard to get around. And
Longer trips too. Yeah.
Yeah. But I really, I guess I'd say it's a good thing I don't live close.
It's probably a good thing that you're doing other things. Well, that's neat. Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me.
Oh.
And I just think it's been great knowing you these past few years. I'm just glad I was able to meet you and get to know you.
You know, the little bit we've been with school and women's club and different things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you're so busy.
Yeah, we're all busy, but you need to take the time to just do things for yourself, and
you do.
And I think you do that, and that's another secret, I'm sure, of your of everything that you've accomplished and how far you've come. You do things that you like.
Yes, you do. You do.
Yeah.
You need to, just kind of fall back and regroup sometimes and say, this is for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you do, just one thing, that Sandy and I went on a cruise.
I didn't know that.
Yes, 2 years ago.
Oh, yes, I did know that. Yes, I do remember that.
And, on the Mississippi River, we went to New Orleans, and she wheeled me around. I have a wheelchair.
Okay.
Has been very, very convenient at times.
Yeah.
When my sons got me. And it is one of the most wonderful things that ever happened. I mean, my husband and I took wonderful trips,
Mm-hmm.
and thank goodness we did that. And we did that through Lions and conventions, and
Mm-hmm.
I will never, ever, every trip we took was fine. But when Sandy said this to me, I said, "Oh, Sandy, I don't see how you can do that. I can't walk." And we thought, "Whoa, we'll do it. And honest to goodness, that turned out to be one of the best things in my whole life.
It was really fun, huh?
Oh,
Yeah.
and we had such good luck. But airports, every place we went, people were wonderful.
Oh, that's neat.
We had no problems.
Yeah.
Not one problem.
That's
and
neat.
think of Sandy, the lady, taking this old lady around. I walked what I could.
Right.
But there were so many places that she would take me Bourbon Street, all through there on the wheelchair the way we went.
Yeah.
And it's just a wonderful memory.
Yeah.
And she loved it so much. She had such a good time.
Good friends.
So that's when both of you feel the same way.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's great when you find good, long-lasting friends like that.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
yeah, real, true friendships.
Yeah, I'll say
Yeah.
to do something like that.
Yeah.
Most people go on a trip, you want to be footloose and fancy free, not
Yeah.
watch somebody else.
Well, I think you also have a really good attitude too. So
Well,
you're fun to be with. I think that's part of the reason she offered, because you're a fun companion for her as well.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that she mentioned that.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's been 2 years, but it has
yeah,
been.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. All right, well let's take a picture.